Greetings and welcome to DORAGON's Domain, episode 14. I am DORAGON KISHU, Paladin and Dragon Rider. In some of my earlier episodes, I created a homebrew setting called Frost Rhealm. I'll put the links down below. And I was inspired, I haven't had an opportunity to use that setting. I'm currently not a Dungeon Master. I am a player in 5e right now. I was inspired by it and I thought I'd create a story that was inspired and would take place in that realm. And I would use 9 characters that were inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. So what I did is I have a blog called DORAGON KISHU. I'll put that link down there too. I started writing the first 5 chapters about these characters. They're small, short chapters. And then actually one night when I couldn't sleep very well, I ended up doing an audio recording in voice and all that just for fun of the first 5 chapters. It's about 18 minutes long or something like that. I'll put that link below too. And that was also posted. That wasn't posted under DORAGON's Domain, but it is posted on the same YouTube channel. I've hit a point where I want to find out more about the classes in 5e. I'm familiar with AD&D and regular D&D, but I want to get more familiar with the classes before I continue the story. It's not that I'm not going to be strict about the story. They're not going to be exactly the same, follow all the rules in regards to magic and everything else. But they are inspired by D&D characters, and I want to have a better sense of, like I said, the 5e classes to see the kind of things that I may use or not use or blend together for the story. So what I did is I decided I needed to roll up these 9 characters and make them 8th level, because where they're going is kind of dangerous. I created the first 3 characters, which you guys have probably seen me tweet about. Before we get into all that, let me tell you a little bit about the party. First of all, the story is called Blue Phoenix, the Quest for Frost Rhealm, or for Frost Rhealm, and the leader is a Dwarven Paladin named Quartz. And he has gathered a group of adventurers together. Some of them he knows, he's friends with, some of them he's just met, and some of them he's never met. Included is a warlock named Chalice that he actually does know him, and Chalice has brought along a young druid, and he has also brought in a warrior orc, half orc. In addition to that, there is a rogue named Min. That's actually their nickname, and that actually is a friend of Quartz, so he actually knows her. And he has brought on 2 rangers because they were going into a very tough terrain. It's an ice wasteland that surrounds what's called the Trigon, which is a huge mountain, 3 huge mountains called the Trigon, and inside the middle of that there is the Frost Rhealm, which is the ice fortress of Ice Realm. It's also a tower that I've talked to you guys about it if you guys have checked out the Frost Realm videos. A tower for the Dark Knights, the Knights of Dark Frost, and then in there like the protectors of Frost Realm in regards to like the outside area, especially surrounding it. And then there's a giant cave called the Frost Giant's Maw. Yeah, so the rest of the group, there's a monk by the name of Taro, and he is someone that Quartz had just recently met. And then the rangers, speaking of the rangers, there's one called Arrow, human ranger, that Quartz had interaction with him, mostly business, like adventures and stuff like that. They're not like friends, but they've done a lot of adventuring together. And then there's Ornhawk. Ornhawk is an exiled drow ranger. And I did some stuff with Ornhawk. I did some stuff on Twitter a while back asking about drows. I know there was kind of almost a taboo to have drow player characters. And then there's a famous drow character that wasn't evil, and people were, I guess, he's a big deal. I haven't read any of that stuff. I haven't used a lot of things like I've never used Forgotten Realms or read any of the books or anything like that. I've just mostly done homebrew and all that, so I wasn't familiar with him. But anyway, I decided finally I would go ahead and make this character. He's not evil, but he is a drow ranger. And like I said, he brought on 2 rangers because of the tough terrain. He wanted to have 2. I did a poll asking what the Dungeons and Dragons community, what kind of subject they'd like me to do in the next DORAGON's domains. And here's that poll. and a lot of people seem to want me to make characters. The characters I'm actually making are the ones that are going to be in the story, but like I said, you still got to go through the process of making them. It takes a lot of time. But I am already getting familiar. I've created a rogue, I've created the rogue, I've created the drow ranger, and I have created the half-orc. Quickly going over a couple things on these guys. Ornhawk, let's see here. Here's his stats. And with stats, the way I do it as a DM anyway is, you roll 4 6-sided die and keep the best 3. I generally let people kick out one of them, like if they have one of the 6 rolls is just terrible. But I'm not sure what I'll do in 5e because I do know that it can be appealing to have low stats just because it can make things interesting. Yeah, so Ornhawk, I decided that his fighting style would be archery. He's neutral good. Speaks Elvish, Drow, Orc, Gnoll. He has a collection of 15 Drow bows. I don't know if he's made them or not, but they give +2 to damage, not to attacks. So he's using a Drow bow, and he's got a collection of Drow bows. He's got some kind of black scale armor. Not sure what kind of the scales it is. He's got perception, light armor, medium armor, shields, weapons, martial weapons, saving throws, proficiency and strength and dexterity. He's got stealth, survival, athletics. Ornhawk is very lean but strong. He's also very agile, so very elf. Black skin, gold eyes. His age is only 35. He's not very old. 6 foot height, 130 weight. Hair is bluish white. Ornhawk was banished from his people for saving a village from fire and pillaging. The pillaged inhabitants were humans, dwarves, and halflings. For his safety, he lives in a. So then the Drow exiled him for this, and for his safety, he now lives in a dark forest, away from the underworld of his people. Yes, but Quartz has never met him, but he had heard of him, and he wanted him. He thought what he did was a noble act, and he wanted to give him an opportunity. So Ornhawk was very taken off guard to be invited by this lawful good paladin to join his group, being that he was Drow. But it piqued his interest. He didn't necessarily want to spend his days hidden away in a dark forest, trying not to be killed by his people. So that's why he joined. Ornhawk also has, I chose Hunter's Mark, Cure Light Wounds, Hail of Thorns, Pass Without Trace. I need one more 1st or 2nd level spell I haven't chosen yet. I didn't want to read through all the spells. I looked up some stuff, and these are the 4 that I chose, and so I do need a 1st or 2nd level spell still. If you guys want to make a suggestion, that is appreciated. And then there's Min, human, rogue, girl. She's neutral, alignment, and these are her stats, her rolls. And she's a 24-year-old girl. She has light blue eyes, olive skin, 5'5", 120 pounds. Black hair to her shoulders. Let's see, slim and athletic, shoulder length hair, like I said, generally pulled back while working, otherwise not. Scar on her face from a robbery that went badly. Min was an orphan, escaped the orphanage at 14, has lived the streets since begging, has lived on the streets since, began thieving at 16 and was good at it. Purchased thieves' tools and has made a living since. She's a loner but has a soft spot for the greater good. She's hopeful but realistic. Yeah, so she is an old friend. I mean, she's not that old, but Quartz has known her for a long time, since she was first starting to be a thief. And he liked her, and like I said, she has a soft spot for the greater good, and Quartz is all about the greater good, so she has a soft spot for him. She has some gold. I didn't give any of these characters any magical. I gave the Drow bow to Ornhawk, but I didn't roll randomly or pick any really magical items, and I know if they're 8th level, they've got them. If you guys have any ideas for those, toss them at me. I definitely will consider giving them to them. I just haven't taken the time because there's a lot of characters, so they should have some magical items though. She's good at the rapier and short bow, daggers. She's got stealth, athletics, deception, perception, insight. Rogues and rangers pretty much are badasses, in my opinion. I mean, I know you guys already probably know this, but it's probably, you know, yeah. So I mean, I've generally been a dungeon master, and when I haven't, I've been a paladin, and I've even had NPC paladins while I was a dungeon master, and so that's what I'm most familiar with. But I really like, and I've also had an NPC ranger that I really liked way back, and very interested in becoming a warlock at some point. I think that would be a lot of fun. The third character I created was the half orc, but she looks more like an orc. Green, black hair, named Krent, and she's 22, so these are young. 5'8", 140 pounds, black hair, green skin. Like I said, she looks like a full-blown orc. And though she's a half orc, she appears to be an orc, pure orc. She is allied with the warlock Chalice, who is along on the journey. Raised by orcs, she doesn't speak of her past. Her mother was killed by her tribe. Her father had one hand removed because of the union he had with the human. So kind of a tough background, although she's an orc. So she's got some gold, but most of it is in an account that Chalice, the warlock, set up for her. Not a huge focus. Here's her stats. Also in hit points, she has 93, I should say. Min has 61, and the rogue, and Ornhawk has 72. So she's good with the longbow and scimitar. She's got intimidation, all armor, shield, simple metallic weapons, acrobatics, athletics, kind of making her a little bit acrobatic and athletic. Gave her leather studded armor instead of chain because I wanted her to just be not super weighed down. So she's got studded leather. She's stubborn. Aggressive, intolerant to weak woman, whatever the species. And her ideal of a woman can be as strong as a man. By the way, these character sheets I'm using, I found online, I think. I'll put links down there for those too. I'm not sure, you know, what people are using or what they like to use, but. So those are the characters that I've rolled up. I thought I might do a little work on Quartz while I was on video, though I don't want this video to be long. I do have some stuff already. Here's Quartz stats. Oh, by the way, here's. Hold on, I didn't give you the orc stats, did I? Well, anyway, whatever I didn't give you, I'll make sure it'll be on there. Here's Quartz stats, and artisan, smithy tools, speaks common and dwarves. Let's see, double proficiency on stone history, battle axe, hand axe, artisan, smithy, like I said. Yeah. He's a mountain dwarf, hates goblins and orcs, and dark brown hair with a hue of red. Like I said, he's actually a blacksmith, and 5 foot tall, 175 pounds, age 110. Pale skin tone, resistance to damage from poison, save versus poison. That's kind of dwarf stuff. Okay, he's friendly, pliable, driven. His ideal is that good can defeat evil one step at a time. Yeah, I think with him, you know, I'm in a 5e group. I've mentioned, you guys have probably seen different material that I've done about that. That's a Thorin Ryo. He's a 2nd level paladin who his sacred oath will be Oath of Devotion. I'm kind of feeling Oath of Devotion for Quartz as well. Yeah, so not to be boring, but I think that he will probably go down that road. So 2nd level, he gets Divine Smite, Divine Health. 3rd level, immune to disease. Let's see, he gets spells, Channel Divinity. Beginning at 5th level, he's an 8th level paladin. These guys are all 8th level. He'll have an extra. Beginning at 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once. Whenever you take the attack on your turn, so he'll have an extra attack now because he's level 8. Ability score improvement when you're okay at level 4. You get So at level 4 and 8th, 12th, 16th, 19th, you can increase one of your ability scores of your choice by 2, or you can increase 2 ability scores by 1. I'm not sure if I've done that with him. I'll have to look. And or protection starting on level 6. Whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you must make a saving throw, the creature gains a bonus to the saving throw equal to your charisma modifier with a minimum bonus of +1. You must be conscious to gain this bonus. Okay, now we're moving into higher level stuff, so we'll skip past this. Onto the oaths. Oath of Devotion. You guys may all have these books, but I'll read some of this stuff anyway. The Oath of Devotion binds a paladin to the loftiest ideals of justice, virtue, and order, sometimes called cavaliers, white knights, or holy warriors. These paladins meet the ideal of the knight in shining armor. It's kind of the paladins I usually play. I've had people suggest the Vengeance. Let's see, what's it? Oath of Vengeance, they say, because they can get wings and stuff or something like that. Sounds pretty amazing, but I gotta create a specific character for that. My tendency is definitely the devotion one. Let's see. Acting with honor in pursuit of justice and the greater good, they hold themselves to the highest standards of conduct, and some, for better or worse, hold the rest of the world to the same standards. I know with Thor and Ryo, he's not going to hold people to super high standards, but he's not going to tolerate, certain things either. So, but that's Thor and Ryo. This is Quartz. Quartz really likes people, and he really believes in people, and he gives them second chances. And he's not a pushover, but he is vigorous in. Let me tell you this also. I never played dwarf characters. I think I've had some NPCs that were dwarf, but I used to play World of Warcraft for 5 years. I don't play dwarves, and they're really cool characters. I always love having dwarves in the group, but I've never played them, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to make a dwarven paladin, and he is the leader. So he is very tolerant. He's the one who invited the drow. He's got a monk. He's got, he's very, very vigorous about his belief in that there's good in creatures and people, and it's not that he doesn't believe in evil. He's obviously against it, but you got to convince. It's tough. He really gives you a good chance, a good opportunity. So he's a really great character to be in a group with, especially if you're a character like this drow ranger who doesn't feel like they belong anywhere, and also may end up landing somewhere in the middle in regards to who they hang out with. So. But the exact words and strictures of the Oath of Devotion vary. Paladins share these tenets. Okay. Let me read that again. Though the exact words, tenets of devotion. Though the exact words of strictures of the Oath of Devotion vary, paladins of this oath share these tenets: honesty, courage, compassion, honor, duty. Oath spells. You get some spells that are different than the spells you get in your book. These ones are just come automatically, I guess. And I'm not, I'm just learning these rules still, the 5e rules too, so let's see. So anyway, it gets protection from evil and good at level 3, at 3rd level. Lesser restoration, zone of truth, level 5. That's as far as we'll go. Aura of Devotion. Starting at level 7, you and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be charmed while you are conscious. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so then there's the other two choices with the Paladin. You've got the Oath of the Ancients, and you've got the Oath of Vengeance. I'm going to go ahead and read the Oath of the Ancients. The Oath of the Ancients is as old as the race of elves and the rituals of the druids, sometimes called Fey Knights, Green Knights, or Horn Knights. Paladins who swear this oath cast their lot with the side of the light in the cosmic struggle against darkness, because they love the beautiful and life-giving things of the world, not necessarily because they believe in principles of honor, courage, and justice. They adorn their armor and clothing with images of growing things, leaves, antlers, or flowers, to reflect their commitment to preserving life and light in the world. So the tenets of the ancients is Kindle the light, shelter the light, preserve your own light, be the light. We won't go full into that, but that would be a really interesting character to play. Let me read the last oath for choices for the Paladin. Oath of Vengeance. The Oath of Vengeance is a solemn commitment to punish those who have committed a grievous sin. When evil forces slaughter helpless villagers, when an entire people turns against the will of the gods, when a thieves' guild grows too violent and powerful, when a dragon rampages through the countryside. At times like these, paladins arise and swear an oath of vengeance to set right that which has gone wrong. To these paladins, sometimes called avengers or dark knights, their own purity is not as important as delivering justice. Yeah, those would just be an amazing character to play. It's not the one I am drawn to naturally, but it would be amazing to play it. And their tenets of vengeance. Fight the greater evil. No mercy for the wicked. By any means necessary. Restitution. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too crazy long, so I know I didn't actually create a character, but I kind of wanted to talk to you about the characters I've already created. Kind of talk to you about the one I'm working on, which is Quartz. Got to do all the time-consuming writing down things, and of course the hardest thing is picking spells and things like that. But yeah, so these are the characters I'm creating for my Blue Phoenix story. Which once I get all these characters created, all 9 of them, I will continue writing the story and posting it probably on my blog, and maybe I will do another audio of once I do another 5 chapters. Maybe I'll do an audio of it too and put that on my vlog. Like I said, those won't be Doragons Domain episodes, they'll just be their own thing. I'm really looking forward to writing this story, so I think these characters are really cool, and I'm not getting an opportunity right now to play in Frost Realm, to DM it or play in it, and so at least this way I can kind of go into it by writing about it. So appreciate checking out Doragons Domain, and I will see you all in Twitter.